Good morning. Hi, y'all. Good morning. Welcome to a day in my life. So I just woke up and went downstairs for the phone because I didn't have it. And this is Yo-Yo stretching. Oh, hi. Hello. Hello. Good morning. I already had devotion and I didn't iron. Today is Thursday and I ironed Xaundre's clothes from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm going to iron something for him to wear today and tomorrow. Come buddy. Hi Zon, morning.
Yes, you go.
I'm vlogging. I'm vlogging for the vlogging. Vlogging for the vlog. Yo, leave me alone. Say hi to the vlog.
Hey, sugar.
Good morning. You alright?
I forgot work.
You're tired of this?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
This is him every morning. I have to do this today. That is definitely relatable. Yes, you have.
I just want a day off, man.
But you know, if you want good, you know it's after run.
So you go. What are your plans for today?
I'm ironing 2 shirts here. One for today and one for tomorrow. And then we have food for last night. Want breakfast?
Sure. Can't bother eating.
Yeah, Xaundre is not a very big breakfast person, but
You can't want shoe shake go work.
yeah, he'll. But then lunchtime, I'm gonna eat something big, and then I'm gonna go hungry dinner time, and he'll eat like 2 dinners. So him try to get him meals in the latter part of the day. But today I'm working, but I'm going co-working today with Vanessa. So that's nice. We have some stuff to co-work on. Well, we're going to use like the first part of the day to work on our separate businesses, and then the evening part I'll help her with something that we're doing together. So that's really what I'm planning for today. I'm gonna hopefully sign up for the gym today too. I really like company internet contact about my plans because I always try to hold me accountable and I don't like the pressure. But
I'm sorry, I'm a terrible interviewer. Sorry, I'm still asleep.
You're not a terrible interviewer, baby. You're just tired.
How are you? They hear in my back.
Oh, me did lock him out finger use the bathroom.
Old master want to be a part of this. Hi.
No, down.
Off. Good boy. Pa. Good boy.
You're always acting
Good
like
boy.
people already
Good
see
boy.
When me and him alone there, he does not listen
Good
to
boy.
me.
Ah.
The special package that we tell you about on the other vlog.
Yes, we're getting a special package. I hope it's today.
I really hope it's today.
Yeah.
That special package you'll hear about when we have a new announcement. So not really an announcement because I also don't really want nobody to hold me to accountability to that either. So this is why sometimes I'm not even bother vlog, because I'm like, what do I tell you guys that I just want to do without the pressure of 30,000 people? Like the other day somebody said, oh Zara, so you can swim now? I'm gonna say, yeah man, yeah, me can swim now. Did I meet all my swimming goals? No. But I'm way ahead of where I used to be. Don't you, John?
Babe, one time you need to go in the water if you pass your ankle.
True. I know how to tread. I'm very comfortable in water.
Tread is a stretch.
No, I can't tread for sure.
Babe,
But
if you can't tread for 15 minutes, you can't tread.
Oh.
Tread it for 30 seconds, don't count.
You don't count?
No.
Whoops. So now we're we're gonna feed you.
Lights out, I'm your favorite. In many ways, been in your place.
This week we are adding some coconut milk as a topper to Yo-Yo's kibble. We add different things just to give him a little extra oomph. He's not a very big eater. Coconut milk helps with his coat, his skin. It helps with his joints and with his immune system overall. So that's what we're doing. I added a little powder and then I'm just going to add a little water and mix it all around. Leave it, sis. Leave it. Okay, come. And then for breakfast for me, last night I made some dumpling and pumpkin and potato and cook up saltfish with pepper and tomato and onion and sweet pepper and them things there. I made that last night. I'm going to have some this morning for breakfast. And I think in the first vlog somebody was saying that they like this house. This house is not our house or where we're going to be living. This is a temporary short-term rental and we're here for, I think we spent like 2 months here. So we're going to be moving soon to where we're going to be living. There's a smaller apartment. Yeah, because Xaundre got accepted in the program. We weren't sure if he was going to because he will have to give a testimony separately, but he was selected as like the only applicant in a sea of wonderful applicants, so he wasn't sure 100%. So we had 1 week to get our things together and move to Kingston. Luckily, them selling certain things, because this place that we got for the short term, because we knew we were going to get somewhere long term. If you know anything about living in this part of Kingston, well, Kingston overall is very expensive and this part is the most expensive. But we had a friend who had this, and this isn't listed anywhere. It's not listed on Airbnb, it's not listed because he only rents it short term to people he knows. So that was nice. So we're here and then I'm ready. Here is a little dress of the day. It had these cute buttons. I couldn't button up, but I think I'm going to wear a belt with it. I'm gonna wear a belt with it. Just because as my seminary really live here, we had everything out of the suitcase here. And let's get the scent of the day. This one. Just got this. Omika influenced me to buy the Delilah, and guys, let me tell you, this Delilah fragrance literally smells like heaven. It should have named something better though, like Ruth, because you know Delilah is not necessarily a good person. Hey love.
I'm outside.
You're outside? Okay, I'm coming down. May I forget Yo-Yo if you not want to run back on me? May I come?
Okay.
After smell good. And we're ready. So yesterday was a bust with the vlogging. I just vlogged as much as I thought I would. Yo-Yo. You see when I always ask for Yo-Yo? There he is.
Middle?
So when Yo-Yo sees Xaundre, he thinks playtime. So he's currently bullying Xaundre to play with him. Let me show you. Him not care. Him not care says Xaundre have work and it's actually late. Bye.
Come here, young, come. Bye.
Alright. How are you?
I'm alright.
You alright?
What's that? Interrogate me?
I mean, I never have a vlog yesterday, so I'm just.
Me there now, guys. Me there. I come go work. You understand? Me have duty today. And come. And I have a puppy that likes nibbling on my fingers. Come. Get a dog, they say.
The word of the day is John 1 verse 1 that says, what does it say, John?
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, and another one there.
That's the one. What do you get from that? Like, what does that say to you? Let's talk about it a little bit.
So, from the get-go, you know, from the beginning of the beginning,
Yes.
God has been around.
God has been around.
And the Word, which documents the experience of God being around, has also been around. And what I've taken from it is that there are no challenges that we're facing in this day and age that He has not yet seen and don't know how to deal with. So that gives us hope, because honestly, yeah, we go through things, we try to figure out things, we try to make things work. Cover your mouth.
Rude.
Yeah, but God know how to do it already. So our kind of principle that we try to live by is we just want God to show us what He wants us to do, what He wants the next step to be, and give us the wherewithal to move on to the next step, and we take it a step at a time.
Amen. Bye, baby.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye, buddy.
Yo, come. So, Instagram has showed me that there's a lot of confusion around what Zara does. And I mean, to me, it's very clear what I do. You know that I'm a lawyer, and you know that I have a business. And on the law front, I'm actually trying to do less and less law every day. So as little law as I can do, that's really where I'm trying to be. And that's because I truly value the ability to work from home and to work from anywhere in the world. And law in Jamaica has made a lot of progress. I won't bash it, but it's still nowhere near how I like to work. There's still a lot of traditional paper heavy stuff. It's still a very conservative field, and as you guys know, I'm what I like to call a modern worker. So I don't love it. My business should be in the place by 2025 where I can fully call myself an entrepreneur. So I still kind of hold, one thing, I go law school, so nobody can take the law degree from me. So I'll still hold the title as a lawyer, but business is growing and it's going good. My business journey has been one that, it's been an interesting ride. When I just started my side hustle, it was a social media agency for law firms, and I focused on law firms in the US and Canada because in Jamaica, we have a lot of laws against lawyers advertising. Basically, lawyers can't advertise, not in just Jamaica, but in the Caribbean. So lawyers can't really advertise, and because of that, pitching social media management services to them wasn't the easiest thing, because I wanted to be able to not use it as advertisement but education. So I went to another market, the US and Canada. But the US predominantly, I only had one client from Canada, to be honest. The US is predominantly where I served my clients, and I had clients from all over California, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Atlanta, like all over. Like I had somebody from New Mexico at one point, like across the gamut, right? And I did that for 2 years. That was a really good business model. Loved it. I hired people from all over the world. I had employees from Nigeria, Philippines, Vietnam, some people from Jamaica. I had, because it was an agency, right? So that was good. And then in last year, I launched a church girl store. And for anybody who was there during that time, you know that church girl store was a great idea. It was good. It was a good idea. But I eventually decided to close it, or to put it on pause, and I made that decision in January of 2024. So I don't think I ever publicly spoke about that on YouTube. But in life, one of the things I stand by is always trying. If God lays something on your heart, is to try it. And because if you don't try it, you'll always live with the regret, what if I did, right? So the church girl store was something that has been on my heart to do, so I did it, and I think it was great. The business was going well. It wasn't because it was profitable. I loved the marketing because I could, go on with myself. I loved all things business and all things marketing, but remember, I had launched the social media agency first, and the social media agency is what we called a low volume business, which meant that I could charge a premium amount. Let's say I could charge a premium amount and work with few customers. So if I had 5-6 clients on retainer, me and my agency would be good. I could pay everybody, I could pay myself, and we could grow and try to scale, right? The church girl store was now and the profit margin was high. So that was that one model, business model. The church girl store now had a business model that looked like, hey, you have to deal with a lot of people, so high volume, very low profit margins, and a lot of hassle. When I say hassle, I mean from customs charging exorbitant amount of clearing fees to me not feeling good about selling the products, because I know that I purchased this dress for $10 online, right? By the time it comes to my freight forwarder in the US, in Florida, that $10 is now $12 or $13, because you have to take into consideration like the shipping to your freight forwarder. By the time your freight forwarder moves that dress to Jamaica, that $12 is now $20, easily $20 US, right? Now at $20, in order, that's why when people say how Jamaican stores are expensive, I thought so too until I was in the business of retail. Guys, it is rough. In order to make any profit, that $20 has to be multiplied by at least 2.5. At least. If you're lower than that, it just means that you now have to sell more to make a profit, right? I hope you're following me. So what that meant was that I didn't feel good about having to price the things at that price, because I knew that the quality wasn't living up to it. And I'm a child of God, and I take that, when it comes to business, I take that very seriously. I think that as Christians, our morals and our values should be shown in the way that we sell, right? So I couldn't confidently sell because I felt like I have a price this so expensive to make it back, even to break even. Some of the stuff I was breaking even, I wasn't even making a profit, or a little bit, right? But at my core, I didn't feel good. So I didn't feel good about that. And then I always ask myself this one question, and it's something I recommend that everybody does in whatever you do, whether it's business or your work or your hobby or your relationships or your friendships. Ask yourself, what is my why? Because I had to go back to the drawing board and say, Zara, why do you want to the business? Why you want to move away from law as much as you can? Why do you want to the business? Zara wants to the business for three things. Well, 4. 1, freedom of time. I knew from very early that Xaundre won't have freedom of time, at least not for now. I can give myself freedom of time, whether it meant that I was going to do a lot on you and me. Yes. As I was saying, freedom of time. I want to be able to move when I want to move, go where I want to go. So freedom of movement. I want to be able to go, like next week, we're going to go to general conference again for our annual cons. I don't have to ask somebody for leave. I wanted financial freedom. So I wanted to be able to, like, I'm in charge of my own income. So if I want to make more money, I just work harder. I just market a little bit more, just get another client, like, versus when you're working for somebody, you're capped. You just have to work with what they was working. So those were some of the main factors: freedom of time, freedom of movement, that freedom. And I have to be able to work from home. I don't like going into the office. The amount of money somebody has to pay me now to get me back in the office is, I am buyoutable. I always say, like, I'm not tied to entrepreneurship. I am tied to those things. So I'm tied to freedom of time, freedom of movement, financial freedom, and I have to work from home. So I guess that's freedom of movement too, right? So if somebody, I will work for somebody if I get all those things, and it has a price. It has a price tag, because when you're working for yourself, you have to think about all the other things. You have to think about taxes. You have to think about bringing in the work. You have to think about delivering the work. You have, like, there are multiple hats that you wear, but yeah, I love it. So I had to remind myself of my why. I want you to think about what your why is for anything, right? And when I looked at it, I looked at the social media agency, I looked at the church girl store, and I said, currently in this season of my life, a lot of us as a couple, when you're in a couple, you make some sacrifices for the other couple, for the other person in the couple at different points, right? When I was just starting my business, and I mean, I started making money early, but I had to take that pivot from stability, right? Xaundre made the sacrifice knowing that he couldn't really try nothing new because I was trying all these new things. And if push comes to shove and some months I don't make any money, which was true, some months you don't make any money, he had to sacrifice stepping in and doing everything, right? Which is fine. Like, he's the man of the house. That's really his job. I'm just helping him out. I'm just helping you out. Yeah, he's supposed to provide, but that's a whole other conversation. So I asked myself, okay, so Xaundre made that sacrifice for me. I also made the sacrifice for him when we went on that trip in Asia, and I was the only one working. Even though we had saved money, I was the only one having money income, so we made that sacrifice again. He made the sacrifice of just so many things. We sacrificed a lot for each other. So now it came to the point where I knew that Xaundre was in a rough patch at work, and I also knew that he was going to start residency. And if you know anything, if you watch Grace, you know that first year of residency is rough. Like, it's the roughest year. So I knew that that's what this year was going to look like. So because I knew that, I said, I have to put myself in a position to be able to have those things, freedom of time, movement, because one of us has to have it, right? For my household, that's how I want to run my household. I also think about in the next few years, when children become a part of the picture, right? I want to be able to have full control over that. I know I have an emergency fund in mind that I need to get to. And I hear this from people all the time that, oh, children come with people and have money all the time, or don't have anything saved, or kids don't come on your plans, which is completely fine. But I think that as stewards of God, it's okay if you put things in place. It's okay if you use the resources in a way that makes sense to you based on the revelation that God has given to you. So, like, I know where we need to be financially in order to bring kids into this world. I mean, where I want to bring kids into this world is a whole other conversation, but that's what I say. So I was looking at that. I also want to be able to take as much maternity leave as I want. I want to be able to not have to go back to work if I don't want to. And when I did the future forecasting, so if anybody is thinking about business, you need to do future forecasting. So when I did the future forecasting and I looked at the church girl store, the amount of time it was taking me up, because if you know anything about even delivering across Jamaica, right? If I don't deliver through Not Spread Express, I have an online system. I have to go in person to the post office and I have to sign those packages one by one. Even if I bring them home, the idea of signing one by one threw me off. So logistically, that was hard. And then somebody said, but why don't you get somebody to run the store while you go and do something else? But you have to understand that that person has to get paid. And remember, we spoke about profit margins being low. So profit margins are low. I wasn't feeling confident about selling the product for that price. Some people do it. I personally, Zara didn't feel good about it. So I said, okay, I have to put the church girl store on pause right now, because when I did the future forecasting, if I run the social media agency, the profit margins are higher. It is a low volume, high profit, low volume, high profit business model versus this one. I hated doing customer service. I hated having to interact with hundreds of people. I didn't like it. So we shifted. So we decided, what's your why? We shifted. We, meaning me, myself, and I. And, you know, in conversation with my husband, of course. So I decided I won't do the church girl store anymore. So we had a sale. We sold off most of the stuff. I still have some stuff in stock that I plan to maybe just donate or whatever. But we paused that chapter. Will it be something that I explore again? Absolutely. As you guys know, I come on the internet and try enough things, decide to not do it anymore, and move on, right? I am proof that you don't need to spend so much time caught up in your own mess and trying to think about what people gonna think. If you don't like it, move on, right? A lot of times we including me, I realize that I used to do that, where I want to do something, don't want to quit, so because I don't want to quit, I don't start. And I think if you continue to remind yourself of your why and your intention is straight and you know where you want to go, I think having your goal in mind, something like being able to wake up and have worship and have slow mornings is something that's very valuable to me. And I wasn't doing that anymore with the store. It wasn't, I didn't like the logistics of it. I liked the marketing. The only part I liked about it was the marketing, you know. So I decided to pause the store. And then social media just started shifting so much. And I was like, you know what? I'm also going to pause this agency. And I'm going to pivot into a new business model. So I said, okay. As a matter of fact, I said I'm going back to the workforce. I'm going to look a job. Remember, time freedom, freedom of movement, financial freedom, and also I had to work from. I need the ability to work from home. Don't like the office. So I started looking for a job. Let me tell you guys, this was maybe one of the lowest points in my life, because that's when you start, you start doubting yourself and you start doubting how great you are. And my whole channel used to be like focused on telling people that you need to walk in your purpose because you are awesome. You are great because you are a child of God and He has made you great. And there is nothing that you can't do with the power of the Holy Spirit working through you. He will direct your path. He will give you the blueprint. He will give you the map. He will multiply your efforts. Because if He calls you to do something, He will. When I tell you, He will give you the means to do it, and He will give you the roadmap. I think true submission is so important, but also the work that you do alongside it. So I was like, I don't like the social media agency anymore. I actually don't like being my own boss right now, and I was low. I don't think I would say super depressed, but I was low, doubting all this work that I've put in and stuff. And I remember telling all my team members that, hey, I just need a break. I need some time, and I started job hunting, applied to some law firms, and none of them have no hybrid work schedule. First of all, what you mean? At this point, I've been practicing law by myself with like the guidance of some senior mentors. That's one thing I know I did right, was I connected, because when I left law school, you know nothing, right? So I connected with some senior lawyers, and they've always been just so responsive, so kind, always so pleasant. And in the legal industry, that's actually not very common. Yeah, lawyers have them head up their asses. Anyways, a lot of times. Yeah, I found that I don't like. That's one of the reasons that I'm not a very big fan of the industry. Especially like me, I don't know. I feel like, oh gosh, I'm gonna cut this part out. Maybe or maybe not. So the ones who really were kind to me were all people who had their own businesses. The people who had their own businesses were really nice. I found them to be way nicer than people who were like partners in firms, for sure. So I started applying to some law firms, but even though I was applying, I wasn't applying from a place of, I wasn't happy about it, because this meant I had to go in office. And then I applied to a lot of overseas positions, like remote positions, because I knew that I just ran a whole agency for 2 years. I know how to do other stuff, like I know how to do project management, I know how to run an agency, like I had a marketing background, and I learned, in those 2 years, I learned so much, because one thing about Zara is going to take a course. Zara is going to take a course. So I did that, and when I did that, started looking for jobs and everything, remote jobs, local jobs. But then the local jobs, the money never that makes sense. I remember Zara been making her own money. Zara been paying herself. So if you can't pay me more than I've been paying myself, it's very defeating. It's very defeating. And I'm not telling you I pay myself a lot, but if I'm paying myself 100,000 in order to work for you, you have to at least double that, right? Because it means I have to leave my yard. And I have to buy lunch on the road or bring lunch to work. And right now, I just eat anything, just grab a yogurt and eat some granola or whatever. So there was a lot. The money never made sense for a lot of local companies. And I understand
that I was working with US companies for so long, and I was able for the last from middle school, and I'm able to charge whatever I want and tell people to pay me whatever. So no, I'm hearing that I need to work for you for 8 to 5, and then I have to get like a chum change. It was unbelievable to me. And this is no shade at all against people who work a 9 to 5, but I think in all things you have to be true and you have to be honest with yourself. And I made it a very, very big goal that I have to be in a place where I'm completely happy with where I am. I have to be at peace. I prefer to earn less and be at peace, right? Started applying to jobs, legal jobs, marketing jobs, operations jobs, right? So operations management, especially online operations, because I was really good at that. Like I can run a business online. Yeah. Law jobs because, and then marketing jobs because I had a marketing background. And guys, over 100 applications, somebody not pay me no man. That's so law jobs got back to me. And when I say law jobs, I was applying to lawyer jobs in Jamaica, but I was applying to paralegal jobs in the US and England and in Canada because those allowed me to work online. They were paying me more than the lawyer jobs in Jamaica. And you know, I'm not a girl where I have to be a lawyer. I don't have to be a lawyer. So what the fuck? As I say, I don't want to be it. I hold on to the title for dear life because that's something that nobody can take away from me. But the practice of law, I don't have to be doing it. And a lot of lawyers think like this. Don't make them fool you. None of them don't like them work. None of them don't like them work. They don't like the system. They don't like to be there. They don't want to be there. They would prefer if they could make money elsewhere. I promise you. So many lawyers have side hustles. And their side hustles make more than their law job. So many lawyers are real estate agents. They're marketing directors. They start one other company because their jobs are like draining. Yeah, I remember me tell that. I know this. So yeah, so I never had to do a lawyer job. The title didn't mean anything to me. As long as I am working and I am making money, I am fine. Fine. When I was going to work and travel every year, I did housekeeping, I did construction cleaning. My first year I did construction cleaning. I can't forget this company. I'll never forget Miss Sonia. And that's why I tell the guys, hey, my mother always say, I the same day leaf drop a bucket it that brown. Whenever you see people like making strides in life, remember that they're coming from far. I remember the first year I went to Florida for work and travel. Wasn't work and travel. If you get me, you work, you travel, you work, right? And I work with this lady named Miss Sonia. I'm gonna call her name because it was the worst experience I've ever had in my entire life. I used to wake up every morning at 4:30 to make sure somebody can catch the bus so I'll go. And I put on my clothes. And I don't know if it was a thing where this lady preyed on Jamaicans who come up for work. I don't know. I think in her heart she thought that she was helping people, but truly she never really treated people good. And a lot of people cried for walk off of the job. And I remember I was there. I get some old clothes around on my cousin because she did work for some place one time. I get some old clothes and I used to wake up every morning. Time, you know, first year, you know. And I'm wake up every morning and go to work, and these big apartment complexes that are finished but they want to clean them in order to lease them or in order for people to come and view them, multiple floors. And we had to make, you know, like the knee pad them. But people who play sportswear, we have to wear them because when we drop on the ground, we have to be able to fit. When we want to clean other things, we have to go up on with knee and clean it. And I'm there clocking 10-12 hours a day, between 8 and 12 hours a day because you get paid hourly, and I was getting paid $8 an hour. I'll never forget that. $8 an hour, and it was so hard, guys. It was so hard. If you know anything about cleaning after construction is complete, you know, so we are talking about scraper, we are talking about harsh chemicals, we are talking about doing things over and over. The ladies to say you have to make sure so you can see your face in the bathroom faucet. And I remember on my first day, I mean, one time I never get my sneakers. I mean, I don't like a flat shoes. My foot hurt me. One of my foot caught up, and I'm so tired. And lady look for me, and after I clean the first bathroom, she looked for me and she said, "You don't know how to clean bathroom? Get out of the bathroom in your yard. Get it. I pit tied to the Jamaican." That's what she said. And at the time, you know, my mother, bless her heart, work her little hard money, we'll go at NHD and get her little loan and build her little house, and we had 2 bathrooms. And I felt defeated because I say, my mother keep on saying, "Sorry, you don't have to do this. Like, you know, it is my job to provide for you. Don't worry about it. You're gonna go back." At the time in a law school, in a university, I try help out my mother. Because mother's a single mother and she try her best. And I tell you one thing about Diane, she put her foot in her raising me. And even talking about it now, I get really emotional because she never really have no help, right? Because if you guys know that my dad died, sorry. Yeah, my dad died when I was 11. So my mother had to do it alone. And that was my way of helping. And I did it. And it was hard and I got a lot of pain, but I did it. And every day I would come home and I'd call mommy and I'd cry and I would tell her, I said that this is hard, and she was like, you don't have to do it. And I was like, yes I do, because we need things. And I didn't want to ask her because they're foreign, and I wanted to at least be able to earn enough so I could pay my hall fee and so that I could shop. You know, in university you want your things there. So guys, I remember they used to call me baby on the team because it was me and this other lady, they bring her son, and it's always were university students. And the other lady, them can't forget them. There was Camille. There was, oh my gosh, I remember their face. I don't remember everybody's name, but I remember them very well. They were so sweet to me. These ladies are big people, you know, them have kids and stuff, and them come up for the 2-3 months for come work, I think, for go back to Jamaica for either help them farm. And one of the ladies, I remember clearly, she had like a farm, and another one, she had like a shop. So you know, everybody had tried us, and they must say, you young girl, you know, what you do here? Ariana, what are you doing here? So they were so nice to me, and while we walk, man, I tell you, I don't know, nice word them. But in construction site to work, man, I left feces here and there, and you have to book up on it, and rough. And I worked there, and I remember when I left that job, I left before the time because it was so hard and it was very crippling. I used to have panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and I left that work. And when I left that work, I remember my godmother, Auntie Viv, saying to me, God bless Auntie Viv. Auntie Viv's daughter had just had a baby, and that baby is like, what? She's like 7 or 8 now, so it's a long time. And she would pay me, like, she would go work and she would pay me $150 or $160 to stay home with the baby so that she could go work. And those were the days I used to take off. So I used to take off those days just to get a breather. And I used to go over Auntie Viv every weekend so I could go to church with her and I could just stay over there. Auntie Viv, Chavel, Sarni, Siobhan, I used to just go over their house every free time I get. And then I was staying with my other auntie, Mahalia, and we were there. And I remember telling Auntie Viv, I'm having panic attacks, pray for me. I can't manage that. She would pray for me, and she says, alright, you don't have to do this. Everybody would tell me that I don't have to do this, but I felt like I had to do this, right? Because I feel like when you become adult, I did 18, I can't go foreign and have my auntie them buy things for me. No. If them buy things for me, it should be brought up, but me want my own money. So I eventually left the job, and then I remember even that same time, and guys, let me tell you now, hey, it's one of the semi-successful. No, I know because I never tried. In that same summer, I have a cousin named Joy. Joy was taking care of an old man. Like, that's what she does. She works at a company where she takes care of old people. She's a caretaker and stuff like that. And instead of Joy knows say, alright, the old man normally call you one cleaning company every 2 weeks. And you know, say for the time there, Joy not call a cleaning company, who Joy call me. You hear me? I'm gonna get my little change again. I'm gonna go to the old man house. I'm gonna go make me take off him sheet them. I'm gonna put it in the washer and the dryer. I'm gonna clean. And when first of all, me take the train. But the train and them things is a big thing in Florida. Florida everybody drive. Me take the train from where me did there. Go over Joy house from the night before. Wake up in the morning, go. I did that I think 2 or 3 times. Get me like a change for add up on the money. Because I knew I wanted to leave the job, and I left the job. And I don't even know how this story reached here. Oh yeah, I was talking about like my transitions and what I've done after that. So because I had that first job, when the second year when I went to real work and travel now, when I went to Wyoming, I was a line cook for that first year. And it was great because remember I said the first one was so bad that now I was in Wyoming. It was this beautiful place. I had the best coworkers. I was now protected under the law, so nobody couldn't abuse me. And backtrack to that first job. I remember when the lady found out that I was doing law, she was like, oh, you know, you have to help me look out for the, because she realized I may have sense now. Me must help her look out for the other one. Then basically she wanted me to watch my coworkers and talk on them, and I was like, I was just not interested. I was not interested. And I left short after that. Everybody was like, Zara, if you left me, I left too, because when me there, are you bring the light to the workplace and whatever. I have to remind them of their why. I remember one of them, she was saving to buy her daughter a laptop. I said, remember, you want to grill your house and you want to buy your daughter a laptop. So when you reach, set a goal and when you reach it, then you leave. Long time I do this. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. And second year work and travel, line cook, and third year as a server. Those were 2 great jobs. Love them. I would go back tomorrow if you not call me back. Call me back. Grand Teton, Wyoming. Yeah, man, call me back. I'll go back. So the point was that I was never a person who need no fancy titles. I'm okay doing honest work. That testimony I get too long now. I don't know if the title you can click off and come watch again later. So where was I in the testimony? So we spoke about the fact that we tried the church girl store, paused it. I don't say I quit it because it just paused for now. Hopefully in the future I'll start it again. Now I decided to say I don't want the agency either. I said that was my bread and butter, that was bringing in money. Alright, so I said to God, say, going back to job market, bully me. None of the jobs were replying. Over 100 job applications, nobody got back to me except the law ones that I never really wanted, because I didn't want to go be anybody's court runner. If you know anything about legal work in Jamaica, people want you to be them court runner, especially you're just coming in. So I prayed and I said to God, say, reveal to me what you want my next step to be. Remember me and Xaundre always saying that we want to know what our next step is. Just reveal what the next step. Where do I put my foot next? And God said, well, you have run this agency for the past 2 years. What if you went into a role in like online operations that you can run people's agencies, you help them with their business plans and strategies, and you help them with like their day-to-day, so that the CEO can focus on CEO running. So I said, all right. So I started applying to those jobs, agency manager jobs, operations manager, and I start branding myself as an operations manager. Guys, me never go take no course, nothing. And then after I start applying for the job, then I realized that the job I asked for some skills I'm gonna have. Like, they want to see that you're skilled in project management. I know about project management, I know how to do it, but then I don't have a certification. So Google have a certification, you know, so I can take the project management certification. Alright, cool. So now me arm certification. Then they ask you some software we never know about. I go learn the software. Then I go take one next course, and this course was a course in overall telling you about how to run an online business and how you can set your own prices and stuff like that. Again, the entrepreneur bug bit, and I'm like, why would I do this for somebody else when I can make a business out of this? So what did I do? I got a business model. Again, this was still a service. It could be high, it could be a premium price, low volume, which means more with a little bit of people. We charge each of them enough money, enough is not relative, but you charge each of them a money that I don't need to work with more than 6 people at a time. So I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and I did a course. One thing was shit ago, do a course. Prayed about it. It's so surreal because this all happened in January when me not vlog or nothing. To myself, look up my face. Because one thing, our businesses have always been set up in a way where even if I'm not working, it'll pay me every month. Because as we set it up, we have at least 6 months leeway of emergency fund. So the business are paying, but it'll go down. The money I trickle down because because it's church girl store, I couldn't put as much effort in my agency, so I wasn't getting as much clients. So that 6 month fund did start run already. So the money was running out, and I was like, this has to work. This has to work. I have no choice, but this has to work. So I did a course in online operations management, which meant I was now going to be certified on project management, team management, and systems management. So there are a lot of online businesses that only run online. Website designers, lawyers who have virtual law firms, strictly virtual, like they don't do any paper at all. Graphic designers, interior designers, coaches, consultants. These people have fully online businesses, and the online business industry is a very big industry. So when I went to do this online business manager certificate, afterwards I went and I have a private Instagram that business. It's not private, but I don't really advertise it, and I don't advertise it not because I don't want people to follow me, but if you're into social media any at all, you know that I want the people who I want to work with or their friends to follow me, right? Because that's where the algorithm will skew your content. So for me, that Instagram, I only had lawyers in the USA following me. if you are not a lawyer in the USA making a certain amount of money, I would remove the follower, because sometimes you have to understand that it's not about the follower count, because really I only need 6 people. So I'm gonna need 100. If I have 100 followers, I'm good. So I went on that page and I said, hey guys, I am moving from social media agency and I am going into operations management. I just want somebody to practice with. So if you are a virtual law firm owner and you want this deal, I will do this for 50% off what the original cost is. And let me tell you, I did that. Somebody bought the bullet, and I said thank goodness for her, because she opened up the pathway for me. And I remember when I went, the vlog when I went with my friends at Duns River, that was when I said to them, I said, guys, I do not know what I'm doing, but this lady has paid me her money and she trusts me to do it, so I'm going to go do it. I'm going to show up, I'm going to be the best operations manager she has ever seen. But I mean, I have no operations manager background, you know, but I've run the agency before, so like, I said, I know how to run a business. And them says, Zara, if anybody can do it, you can. Good friend better than pocket money. And them say, if anybody can do it, you can. Faith and delusion has brought you this far. Has one thing with very delusional, and you have to have delusional faith so strong. It's not really delusional, because it is anchored in knowing that God will come through for you, but it's so strong that to others it seems delusional, right? So we did it. Me, myself, and I, and the Holy Spirit, we did it, and we went and we showed up for that lady, like making for our full service. And so that happened in March, and March until this day. This is where the testimony starts to come together. One thing about this testimony is nowhere near complete, because we have stage 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to reach. But I want to tell you that today, Zara is fully booked. Fully booked, friends, right? I am managing businesses left, right, and center, online businesses. My sweet spot is law firms, which makes sense. Foreign lawyer them love me like cook food, especially the ones who have virtual law firms. Yeah man, they don't stop telling them friends. They're like, we have a lawyer from Jamaica. Let me tell you, one of the things that I always did was, I've always said I'm gonna stay true to me. I'm not twang, no accent. You're getting the authentic Zara-Marie experience. And because I know the law so well, that's why I was talking to a law student the other day, and I was telling her, go to law school, make the best of it, because you never know where it will bring you. Because law has opened up so many doors for me. One of my value adds when I was doing social media was like, I'm saying, hire me and don't hire any other social media team, because I know the law so well that I can break it down into language that the regular person can understand in a way that is entertaining, because I did social media as fun. I grew a YouTube channel, I grew an Instagram page. Trust me, because I know the law, but I know these too, and I can direct my team in the best way. And I use that same value add. I said, you are the CEO, you can't do everything by yourself. If you get a virtual assistant or an executive assistant, they need direction. So you have a team of paralegals, you have a team of assistants, you have a team. Let me help you run that team. Let me help you set up your online businesses. I promise you that if you work with me within 6 months, you're going to increase productivity, you're going to increase profit, and you're going to increase your peace of mind. And you're like, say less. And people just start sign up out of nowhere. I mean, no sign up out of nowhere. I know that it's because the power of God has worked. And I had a number that was my booked out number before I started feeling drained and overwhelmed. And when me telling you something at work, I don't want to think that Zara waste time, because we're working, setting up systems in place for this moment. Like, I think I became fully booked maybe about 2 weeks ago, so this recently happened. And the next stage of this journey is for me to grow a team and become even more fully booked and to increase my profit margin. But that business boring things, I don't even know why I hear all of that. But as a solo person, I'm at my limits. Like, I can't accept no more clients, and if I do accept any more clients, it's like on a consultant level, but I cannot manage anymore. Like, as a manager, there's no, like, and this is completely my business holistically, charging what I want to charge, pay myself what I want to pay myself based on, you know, what the business I bring in. And it's at a place where things are looking up, and let me tell you, things will get worse before it get better again. You hear me? It's gonna get rough again. I might go back low again, because that's just how life is. That's how business is. You have high points and you have low points. But I really want to share this testimony, because as we go through life, and life gives us all these different twists and turns, I want you to know that you're not alone. You're in the background and you're building something. Push, continue to push, because every layer of your story makes you who you are, and in the end all things will come together for good. Because as much as that construction cleaning job was hard, it taught me so much. As much as being a line cook in Wyoming was hard, and being away from home for the 4 months and working in this cold place where you don't really know nobody and not even having a church to go was hard, it taught me so much. Every layer. I used to do freelance paralegal stuff, online freelance, social media stuff. I tried everything. Try your heart, because your heart will eventually add on and add on and add on. And as I sit here in my 90, just wake up with my hair catch up in a one, I am just a regular girl trying. And when I see it working, I'm always just amazed at the power of God in my life, and that same power is available to you. You know, the Bible tells us that He has plans for you, plans to make you prosper. You get me? Like, Him don't want you to flop. He wants the best for you, and you can do anything that you want to do through the power of Jesus. And I mean, that's one of the things I've always said to myself, like, you can do anything. If tomorrow I want to go to med school, I can. I mean, I won't. Yeah, that will never happen. But I can if I want to. And I don't know. I know that this is for somebody. I know this is for somebody. And I'm sure that I will rewatch this when I'm going through a low moment, because it will come and I will be low again. But right now I just wanted to document it. I'm going to upload it so that I can go back when my future self is stressed out and I can see that He came through for me in this time. Because when I think about Zara just 6 months ago, I am grateful that Zara 6 months ago started. And now you hear me joke and say, I'm going to start my fitness journey now again. And that's a whole other thing, because, you know, I have PCOS. I'm trying to heal that, and I'm trying to deal with that. And I want to be active and healthy and stuff like that. And I just give myself 6 months of consistent work. Give yourself whatever you're trying to build. Just give yourself 6 months of consistent work. I'm here, and like, I'm living proof that this is not just 6 months. This is years of everything coming together, and every skill that I've learned just adding. So you might be in the rigors and you don't know what the rigors are gonna bring you, and you're like, I'm tired of this murder. But let me tell you, it's as you're adding. You're just creating your resume, just creating your skill set. You're just adding. And as things continue to percolate, like, I got a job yesterday for a law job yesterday, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna refer you to somebody. You know how freeing that is? It's so freeing, because you can say, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this particular job. Being able to turn away work means that you're not coming from a place of desperation. You have desperate energy, and you have free energy. Yo, I go back after the name, but the man don't know any place. Once the man's car start drive or gear up, you go back after him. So you see him shotgun now. You soon hear him. There it is. Anyways, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this testimony adds value to your evening or your day or whenever you're listening to it. I'll see you next time on the next episode of Adventures of XYZ. Bye, guys.